So biofeedback is a medical technology that's been around for decades. It is, in essence, a way of looking inside, watching the bodily systems changing in real time, using medical sensors, which are painless, mostly like Band-Aids, just taped on, as you might see in an EKG or something like that, taping on the sensors onto the body to monitor the changes in respiration and breathing, changes in heart rate and rhythm, changes in muscle tension, changes in temperature and perspiration. All of these things are expressions that can be measured on the surface of the skin of what's happening very deep. Normally, we're not paying attention to these things. And so they're going in one direction and another, constantly responding to our thoughts and our feelings and expressing themselves in our body below the level of awareness. But with these sensors, we can magnify these really subtle signals thousands and even millions of times, display them on giant screens, and you can see your insides working, which is extraordinary and interesting in itself. But it gets really interesting when you start learning that there's connections between that thing that you just saw happening on screen, which means it happened inside of you, and that thought that preceded it, that attitude, that set of mind, that where your attention was directed. All of these internal subjective things precede what happens in your real, everyday, important to understand body. And you start to connect the dots. If you can see it, you can start making connections and start controlling it. So the first stage is to sense and display using our equipment. The next stage is to increase your awareness and your sensitivity to what's going on inside so that you can start connecting the dots and voluntarily controlling these systems that were thought to be beyond voluntary control. And it doesn't get much more basic than controlling your heart rate and rhythm, your blood flow, and your oxygenation. Those are fundamental pillars of our health and well-being. When you can control those, you can control all kinds of conditions. And the confidence that grows in that is also a secondary benefit. You start to realize that you are the first step in your own health care. And that changes what's called the locus of control, your sense of who's in charge and where does the change begin.